Hello and welcome to the Ring It On podcast. I am Jordan from Exo Sounds. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we have our very, very special first ever venue guest. Please, a guest, how dare I say that? Guest on the show. Venue owner, operator. Please give it up to Chantelle from Flagstaff Estate. Yay. And now Stonefield Estate. But we will get to that. Oh my goodness.
Yes, I know.
We'll get to
that. It's a big story ahead.
Chantelle from Flagstaff Estate. Thanks so much for coming on the show. How are you?
Good, thank you. Just got off a plane, yes. Yep. Went up to the Goldie to see my nibblings and straight here.
That's a fun word for it. I've not heard someone say nibblings
Haven't you?
before.
Yeah, great. When you got so many of them, can't remember how many nieces and nephews.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here and coming straight from a plane. I feel like we have an endless amount to talk about.
We do.
But you are our first ever venue owner and operator.
I feel very privileged.
Yes. So Flagstaff Estate. So from my perspective, I came to Tassie 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I've done a few things at Flagstaff over the year, but you have erupted in the last 2 years, 3 years. Tell me, how did you get to Flagstaff?
Oh, man. It depends how long you want me to go back.
Well, we think we just established we have a heart out at some point.
How much wine's left in that bottle?
Have you always owned it?
Yeah, so we purchased Flagstaff in Feb 2020. So we bought it as a family home.
Okay.
My husband's family just live up the road in Belrive. My family live in Lena Valley, and we literally bought it as a family home. And then 2 weeks later, borders closed for COVID. And we were, back then, that amount of money, I mean, it still is a lot of money. But we were like, oh, crap, what are we going to do? We need to quickly pivot. And so,
in relation to, sorry, why? Because you weren't here? Or
we were stuck in WA, sorry.
Right, sorry, yeah.
Back a bit. I live in far north WA.
Far north WA?
Yeah.
In like Broome?
So, I would say further because least Broome's connected to eastern states. I live in Karratha. Okay. So that's in the armpit of Australia. It's the Red Desert. It's the hottest place. It was the hottest place in the world on Christmas Day.
Oh my
44
God.
degrees or something. So me and my husband live in Karratha. We have done for the last, me 8.5 years, my husband 10 years now. And but we're both Tasmanian, born and bred, and our families are very much still here. And so back then in 2020, we were purchasing our first kind of family home. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, where can you get 10 acres, 7 minutes from a CBD in a capital city anywhere in Australia? And so, we had all those thoughts about, having all this land and bringing up a family, etc. COVID happened and we were stuck in the Great Wall of WA.
Oh, yeah.
And Tassie had, a moat around it. And so we had to pivot really hard. And so my sister-in-law actually has about 14 Airbnbs. She does quite small apartment Airbnbs. They've got some up in Belrive, and she offered to set it up as an Airbnb for us.
Nice.
So her and her young family moved in for 3 months and they set it up. We, as part of the purchase, we purchased the property then with all their furniture in it.
Oh, cool. All the previous owners? Not
owners.
Your sister's furniture?
No. But,
Sticking a bunch of sleeping bags on the floor, a bunch of shit just comes in like, oh, we'll have that, I guess.
She won't mind me saying it was very much all Kmart at that point.
Anko heavy.
It was very Anko heavy, yeah, to be Timu at that point.
Yeah, good one.
And yeah, we just kept all their furniture because again, we were like, well, this was back when like businesses weren't open. Yeah. You couldn't get a removalist to come to your house put in, scary times, exactly. And it was back when you didn't really know what COVID was. So, and, then we're like, well, are people even going to travel? We don't know. Anyway, so we pivoted and, the first year we had a property manager or group that was managing it as an Airbnb or as a short stay accommodation. And then maybe in September the following year, I was like, I can do this. I can definitely property manage this myself. So what's really key is that my husband's an automation engineer.
Okay. So is he in the mines or something? Is that what's going on kind of thing?
No. So his background is electrical engineering.
Yeah, wow.
So he's an engineer on the Karratha gas plant. And so not so, I mean, he loves his job up there because, he's not stuck in a office in a CBD and gets to be kind of out there on the field.
For sure.
And I'm actually a nurse by background.
Amazing.
But I haven't worked in nursing for the last 3 years because I'm a health executive in the Pilbara. And I oversee, we've sorry, I've kind of...
That's good. This is good. This is good background. This is really good background because it gives context.
Yeah. So me and my husband, we work full time. And I am a director in strategy, change and service development. So it's a very long, fancy word for essentially delivering or driving the strategic initiatives across the organisation.
Yeah, right.
And we cover a very, very vast geographical landscape of desert to islands and remote Aboriginal communities.
Amazing.
So for the last 8 years, originally a nurse, but very much working in leadership now.
That's amazing. So you're doing that and you just go, I guess I can property manage on the slide as well.
So at that time, I guess I was working in a part-time role, and I felt that I had the capability, and having a husband that was able to automate our entire house from the palm of my hand made a massive difference.
Yeah.
And
you're like the Flagstaff Estate. Yeah, right.
So, right down to we can dose our pool with chemicals from our phone. We can turn lights on and off, aircon on and off.
So good.
We've got on our neighbour's fence, we've got some decibel monitors. So it doesn't hear per se, but it just monitors the decibels. And because obviously we really
the
care
DJ's number one enemy, I will say, but not at your, probably not a Flagstaff, but not at a venue when you see a fucking decibel meter on the wall and you go, here we go,
man.
And it just maxes out.
No.
I
More
understand
than
what you're
anything,
be for parties.
To be honest, we've really invested in our property, and I'm sure we'll get on to that. But we've been really, really meticulous in the design of Harvest Hall, which is our outdoor space, and it is about 40, maybe even more, 60 mil thick of soundproof.
Yeah, awesome.
Soundproofing. So actually, once those doors are closed, you can't hear a thing.
No, that's so good. And you can tell when you're there, you can tell all the effort that's been put into the little things that people don't think about. But so many people don't think about audio issues like
100%.
that. And even restaurants that have terrible acoustics and bounce back, and you're like, this is a nightmare. I was talking with the people at the wonderful agrarian kitchen once. Obviously, amazing food and stuff, but it's a bit of an audio nightmare in there for music, right? And I was like, and Rod, the poor guy, like the owner, he's an absolute, but he was just like, there's nothing I can do. It's all heritage. He's like, I can't make a change. And he goes, it kills me, but I can't make it. I'm like, you poor buggers. You always make it work, but it's one of those things, you can't get around it. So the fact you even thought about it says a lot. So it started off as more of an Airbnb with potential. Or a family home.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So COVID happened. We didn't get back for 12 months. So we purchased it again and didn't get back until purchased it in the Feb and got there by December for the first time. And so I guess, at that point it was still very much like probably covering the mortgage, but it wasn't really anything more than that. And there was still kind of that desire for us to move back. And then I've always, I guess, really enjoyed renovations, and I always saw a lot of potential in the property. We slowly started doing renovations, but I still remember being really apprehensive to create an Instagram, put my face anywhere near it. I kind of like to be the silent person behind it.
It's a choice, isn't it? People love a face these days, though.
Oh, and now you can't live without it. Yeah, you literally have to do it.
I hate it. Says the man hosting a podcast.
You and I both. It's the millennial thing. It's hard. It's hard work putting yourself out there. Yeah. As soon as you put yourself out there, you're up for scrutiny, and you're up for people making judgment or passing comment. And I think that that's a scary world to live in. Mm-hmm. But in saying that, at the moment, about 80 to 90% of our bookings come from social media.
That's incredible.
And so
everybody,
we
that's where it's at.
Literally have no option but to really focus
you gotta flog
on it. Absolutely. Yep. So we started renovating it, and then I slowly, just exchanged all of that Anco for some pieces that that resonated, and I guess I was able to start getting able to be back in Tassie, was able to create a space that felt like me. Mm-hmm. And I think because I never set it up or I wasn't there for the first year, I didn't want what it was to be representative of me or my husband as well. And so over the last couple of years, we started curating the spaces to feel like home. We want people to walk in and to feel like they're in home.
For sure. And is there an element there of that you still were you still considering it your future family home kind of thing, or was it?
Not
was
now.
there a point? But was there a point where it was like a very much all right? We've kind of now.
Look, I think we've always said if we were to do like something really massive with the next kind of like, if we're going to do a big extension, or we've talked about, redoing the kitchen, etc., we might block it out for like 6 months or something and come back. But now it's essentially been a bit of a side hobby, side hustle, playing off these like love and desire and passion for an area that is so underutilized in like a healthcare or an engineering career landscape, right? I don't do marketing and social media and customer service and hospitality in healthcare. I'll probably do a bit, but do you know what I mean? Like
Totally.
It's like using parts of my brain that I think I've really relished in, and really, it's been a huge like journey for us. And so I think what then happened, so Matt and I got married at our property we were a COVID wedding, so it was in January 2023. And after that, I posted personal photos of our wedding, and we had so many inquiries come through asking whether they could have their wedding at our house. And at this point, so to give some context, so Flagstaff Gully, or the valley there, used to be a thriving pear and apricot orchard. Apparently it outwon the Huon Valley.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, because I grew up in Lindisfarne, and I Lindisfarne, and I always knew of it as like this back little area in between here and the airport, that you'd accidentally go. But it's 7 minutes from the CBD. Like it doesn't exist in the world. And
Begonia's sealed now, so watch out.
I know. But
we're not off the beaten track.
I know, but these things don't exist in the world in any other capitals.
I know. And you drive down it and it feels like you're in a bush retreat,
100%,
right? Like
100%.
in the middle of nowhere. So it used to be an orchard, and so the house next door, Millar, that's the original house of that valley. So the whole property used to be connected. And then in the 1980s, some people built the property that is now Flagstaff Estate. And as part of that, they sold off the house next door. And so Harvest Hall, or what it used to be, was a pear packing shed. So in 1909 that there was a particular shed. We don't know if it's the exact same one, but there was bushfires, through was that in the 50s? Yeah. And so they had to relocate the pear packing shed. So we know that one's definitely been there from about 1954.
Amazing.
But the whole area since 1909.
Yeah.
And, so someone by the name of Ernie, he was the pear packer in that shed. And I love it.
Great name.
And back then it was just a tin shed, literally a tin shed, not possum proof, not weatherproof, car chassis as beams, and old trusses, which I still love and obviously you can still see. But, in Tassie,
That's right.
in Tassie, it needs to be weatherproof. And there was just a lot of issues with us being able to like host people in that space.
Yeah.
So for us, it was like, oh, look, this is something we could probably look at, but there's so much more we need to do. Anyway, so like we hosted a couple of groups, and first and foremost, we're still an accommodation venue. Like that is definitely what we're there to do. Number one,
absolutely.
We're not a wedding venue. Number one, we're accommodation, but because of the locality of our Harvest Hall area, you're not going to have another group stay in the accommodation while someone else is using the back. The flow would never work.
For sure.
The whole idea about our property is that like it is quite literally, in my opinion, maybe I'm biased, I'm definitely biased, but like it is literally the best place to have like a full weekend.
Yeah, it's a party. It's awesome.
You can spend time there the night before. You've got the pool. You've got like this amazing event space that is kind of separate, but it's not. You've got all the paddocks that are available.
Is there a tennis court? Does there a tennis court?
There's a tennis court. Yeah, that's the original tennis court.
Yeah, nice.
Of the Flagstaff Valley Tennis Club.
Is that
we need
right?
to restart it. Yeah.
And that's on the block too, right?
Yeah.
That's at the front. I'm trying to think of it driving up. Because it's changed so much particularly in the last, 2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
So what does it have? So let's go through some of the nitty gritty in the sense of like how many rooms?
Yeah.
If you're an accommodation like venue first, let's like cover some of that as far as how many people can stay and what that offers, and then how you can also tie in your event, because that's probably what I want to know the most about, because that's when I get to go to work. But tell me, so how many rooms
you
you
come
got?
for a stay
I know,
sometime.
I do.
Bring
It's
the
so
kids
nicely
over.
done. I know.
Thank
Boo, ruined it.
Adults only. Oh, dear.
We got put up at the Tasman the other day for an anniversary.
Beautiful.
Corner room, looking over the thing. Oh, come on.
man.
So nice just to have a night sometimes.
Yes.
So how many rooms do you have?
So it's 6 bedrooms.
Six bedrooms?
upstairs.
So sleeps how many?
So we sleep up to 19.
That's huge.
So 13 beds. We do have 4 sofas in the lounge room. I guess I'm being a bit dubious about that because I'm very much hoping to change some of that lounge suite arrangement, but definitely we'll host in the future 18 to 19. It might just drop by 1 if I get what I want with the CFO, aka my husband.
I thought you were going to be talking about the council or something and the rules. No, they're all good. It's just the CFO. You're not going to hidden garden us here. Let's not talk about that.
No, let's not. I guess we always have that available space, but pulled some stats before coming, Geordie.
Yes, I love stats.
And
I love stats and
our
numbers.
average group size is 11 to 12 people. So
Cool.
that's on average what people are booking. And I think, we've got the space available. We've got 3 bathrooms. We've got obviously the tennis court, indoor heated pool. So the hot tub. We've got the outdoor event space, and we've got, paddocks for lots of cars and movement. So there's there's a lot of area, I guess, that can be utilised. We've got a beautiful outdoor deck that we did a renovation on.
Yes, you do.
Oh gosh, was that about 18 months ago now, to create, I guess, a bit more of a fire pit space and a conversation corner. And so, there's a lot of area that can be used as part of a stay. And then how we treat our bookings is that if you are interested in celebrating anything during your stay, we host a lot of bridal weekends, hens parties.
Nice, yes you would.
Elopements, 40th birthdays. That seems to be our latest thing.
Nice.
Preach to those people that are turning 40 soon.
I'm coming 40 real soon. It's coming up, 2027.
But I guess any kind of group celebration. Like we even have family reunions. Like we've had quite a few 70th this year where like the kids have booked it to get all the family in one location. Over Christmas and New Year's. We had people from, my kids are flying in from New York, and we've got people traveling from all around Australia. And I think that is what makes us really unique, is that as far as I'm aware, there's just not many places, especially 7 minutes from a CBD.
Yeah, I couldn't even think of one off the top of my head that would be in the similar. Not with the expanse. I mean, obviously you can go hotel rooms and you can get like Battery Point has some things like that, but
100%.
Not in that kind of like it's your house, have fun kind of thing for 20. I don't know.
Yeah.
There may well be, but they're not in the same kind of. They're certainly not selling themselves in the same kind of way.
Yeah, well, I think that's where. So, to go back a little bit more, was when I started getting into hosting. I did what's called a hosting masterclass, which is run by the beautiful Sarah Andrews. She owns Captain's Rest. You might have heard of that. It's quite a famous Airbnb in Tassie, up in Strawn. Lots of elopements and stuff there. Beautiful ducks, and she's done an amazing job. And she started the hosting masterclass, which was like kind of a community and also a masterclass for people to learn how to host or to learn how to maximise revenue on their Airbnbs and where to focus and maybe not. Anyway, and I did that, and I learnt a lot, but I worked out very, very quickly that I didn't really fit in. Okay. And when I say that, I mean that they really promote kind of that 2 to 3 bedroom, maybe max 4 to 6, even 2 to 6 kind of group stay, no more than that, because of like logistics and ability to create like a really romantic space. And in doing that, I was like, I don't really fit in, and like, shit, we've got room for 19 people. Like, this is not, how am I going to market it? Oh my goodness, like we're going against the grain here. And like, I guess once I took over the management of the property, I realised very, very quickly that actually I was my ideal guest.
Nice.
So I'm telling everyone how old I am now, but at that point, 6 years ago when I was 30, I really was that female, kind of 25 to 35, who was starting to, all my friends were getting married, all my friends were engaged, all my friends were turning 30, all of that like kind of life moment events, right? And I was like, I just need to market it to me.
Yeah.
And so I really harness that knowledge. And I think that is what is key for anyone, and that would be a recommendation of mine, is like find out who your ideal guest is and run for it. Like go hard on making that stay for that exact person, and the rest will kind of fall into place.
Yeah, I love that. A place like that is so good. I think even like when I had weddings, like friends' weddings in destinations, and I wasn't like a key part of anything, but we knew 10 other couples or whatever, or 5 other couples that were all flying to or driving to somewhere, like that place just doesn't exist, and you can't even find it. You find these dodgy old like camp things that you can stay in stable number 3 or something.
Oh God,
you know what I mean? But like there's such a market for like, hey, here's 5 couples that want to have a weekend together too, and party down the night before and party down the afternoon.
Like you can find a few of those places in like Byron Bay, in the hinterland type where there's like those kind of ranches almost. And I agree. And, like we often think about, should we reconfigure how we have the sleeping arrangements and the bedrooms and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like it is a huge house. And so to turn over the property is actually a massive effort. Like we've got the most incredible cleaning team, and we couldn't do it without them. I live 5,000 kilometres away.
Yeah, for sure.
And in a different time zone now.
There's no app that's going to change the sheets.
No, unfortunately, not yet.
Not yet. No,
you may see the like Flagstaff robot coming through.
Oh my God, just rolling down like a Waymo, just rolling down the thing.
Seriously, it's like when we have a checkout at 10 a.m. and a check-in at 3 p.m., we literally need that much time to turn over our property. Of
course you
Try making 19 beds.
How many people you got doing
beds.
that? What do you got, a whole team? Like 3, 4, 2?
So our cleaning team are extremely efficient, and I mean that takes time to become efficient for sure. And like I said, we have, Matt's a systems automation engineer, so right down to how much linen we have, what consumables we have, how we manage our linen and our stock take. I've started to buy, furnishings and assets for the property that are purposeful rather than just decorative, because, cleaning those things has to be considered, breaking those things has to be considered. And so, there's actually so much that goes into behind the scenes. I'm
blowing my mind just thinking about it. Like, just like even cleaning this house that we're in, like Laura and I can do it like pretty quick, but we have a system. Like we know who starts where, who's got what, where things go, what you need to take upstairs, and that just cuts out all this time. Yeah, I had a quote for a cleaner that came in the other day, and it was like an insane price for one. It was like a 4-bedroom house. But it was just like, I was like, he said it's going to take 4 hours. I was like, if you're terrible at your job, it's going to take 4 hours.
Yeah,
like this doesn't take 4 hours.
No,
there's no way.
Well, you need to get my cleaners too.
I know, I do. Please.
Actually, don't. She's too busy. But no, you hit on some really important stuff there. And first and foremost is that our cleaners are efficient. Because we value them and they value us and they value our time.
Yep.
We also pay them far beyond what I guess maybe another household cleaner would get.
You're paying a premium for a premium.
Absolutely. Definitely. And we also don't pass that fee. I mean, we have a standard $300 cleaning fee for our property. That barely covers the linen changeover.
I was actually going to ask before, does your booking situation change on if you've got 12 people and it's a 9, is it like per person or is it property combined?
Yeah. So our pricing structure we have done, and we haven't essentially changed it for the last 6 years, but we've done it to be as like economically viable for all types of groups. And how we've done it is we have a base rate which is set for 4 people, because we know that a family of 7, when maybe there's only 2 adults actually paying because the rest are kids, we know that they can't afford maybe what a group of 12 adults, where they might split the cost across 6 couples.
Exactly why I brought up that couple thing. You've got 5 couples, you've got 10 people that all have an income.
Way cheaper than booking hotel rooms for sure. So we've done it in that way, and then basically the price is per person above that. We don't, some people say, we've got 12 people one day and 6 people the next, can it vary? And essentially no, because obviously once the linen is slept in, the cost doesn't
once it's
change
soiled,
for us.
it's soiled.
Yeah. But literally, because,
I know.
Like people say that, it's like, well, unfortunately for us, the cost doesn't actually change how often the bed is slept in.
Do you want to come in and sleep in a dirty ass sheet after somebody else has been in because they stayed one night instead of 3?
Yeah.
It's not a question.
And look, and that's another thing. So we have a minimum 2-night stay for accommodation, like for general groups.
Yep.
And for weddings and elopements, we actually have a minimum 3-night stay. Very, very rarely we'll go to a 2-night stay. And this is from 4 or 5 years now of knowledge. We want our guests, like we are so committed to our guests having the absolute best time.
Mm-hmm.
But we also are back-to-back booked. So right now, Jordan, again, did some stats.
Love the stats.
But we have 3.5 to 4 months of non-stop bookings.
So good.
We do not have a night free.
That's...
I know. Insane.
You should be very proud. You should be very proud of yourself.
Very, very proud. That's been a lot of hard work.
Yeah, when did that start? A year ago, 2 years ago?
Probably, look, ever since we've renovated Harvest Hall, we have absolutely boomed. And that's when you would have noticed maybe us ramp up in what our offerings are. And that's when we've been able to bring on one of my besties, Lucy, to our team. And that's when I guess we started to go, okay, we know what we're doing here. Because, like I said, I'm a nurse by background. I have no idea. And I'm absolutely not organised. Definitely, time management is not my forte.
We were gasbagging for an hour before we started recording. She's got a heart out.
Literally,
that is time management.
But do you know what? Like we, I guess I'm the vision, or like that's what I like to think, that I bring the vision to where we need to go, and my husband does the spreadsheets to make sure we can get there in a cost-effective manner. I
love it. This is what getting me in the ghoulies. I love all this stuff. I get so excited about efficiently run things. I had a friend I used to tour with when I was a touring musician way back in another life, and he used to call me Mr. Efficiency or Dr. Efficiency as a dig, and I was like, I'm loving this. Like I am, because I'd be like, we need to.
Well, what are you thinking of the AI world?
Oh, it's the best thing ever for me. Yeah. Like it just 10x's what I'm already into. Do you know what I mean? Definitely some huge problems. I mean, that's the whole conversation, but I love its ability to assist me being even more efficient and better at things. I mean, I don't like it taking away the creativity and certain things about that, and also just,
But you know what? Like, I think, if you, because it's the same for the wedding industry and it's the same with Airbnb, short stay. I mean, we know around the world that regulations are constantly changing. They're putting on extra land taxes and extra, fees to people that choose to stay in Airbnb, and like are really, I guess, doing that to try and improve like affordability and whatever of, people being able to get a home, which obviously we are very passionate about as well. But at the end of the day, Flagstaff Estate, it wouldn't be viable for us to put it on a long-term rental. And I think that's, fundamentally we have been very, very committed from the start at investing in our property. And like, shout out to Ben who, in your podcast mentioned this. But I think, like AI, like the world we live in, like you have to keep ahead of the game, or at least try.
I don't know. People argue about AI and stuff and when you're talking about with efficiency, I don't know anybody who's had a bad travel or accommodation or whatever experience that has been bad because of a human messing something up or something like that wouldn't be more satisfied that a robot made a human do this better, or a robot did it completely. You find me that person who's stuck in immigration line at Bali International and going, can someone get some fucking robots in here? Can we? It's 11:30 at night. I've got 4 kids. Let's go. Do you know what I mean? Like what?
We've all been
everyone sits there going, no one's going to write Shakespeare. But it's like, but that's not real. That's still going to be for them, the people that want to write Shakespeare. Like if we can tighten up the bureaucracy and time management of things that are just people that aren't, you know what I'm saying.
And I think because we live so far away, we've had to be.
You have to.
We've had to.
I love it.
We've had to constantly invest in those things that will make anyone's life easier, not only far away but on site.
There would be not one guest you've had that would be disappointed that they're getting a DocuSign or something. They'd just be like, thank you very much.
Look, it's been a long journey.
Yeah, of course.
And I think when you're passionate about what you do and when you genuinely love, like we're invested in our product and we're very invested in our service, and when we don't meet people's expectations, it's actually like a huge, especially for me, personal blow.
1,000%.
Because
Could not agree with you
genuinely love sharing our home, and I always talk about it as a home because it's not just Flagstaff Estate. It's actually my home or a place that has been built as if with love and care and passion and energy. And, I think it shows, like it's very obviously something that has been deliberately curated in this particular way. And that, we're very proud that, yes, we live in WA, but we basically spend every spare dollar that we have back into the Tasmanian industries, all the local builders and trades everyone that we employ down here or that we collaborate with. So yes, we're over there doing that, but we're doing that, and you've got to make sacrifices in life, right? We're doing that so that we can do this, and I guess everything that's to come.
Yes, well, that's to come. I want to cover a few little points before then, and then we can talk about what's to come. Okay. But I agree with everything you're saying because I froth all this, and someone that went to Sydney and kind of learnt how to be professional, and then came back and has had a very successful time here, and I'm very happy here, and I love it here.
Yeah.
Those elements is it's just everything. You're bringing it back. You're saying it like you're getting blowback from some people for doing it, but I'm just I don't know who's doing this. No. So tell me first of all, out of all those bookings that you've got back to back, how many of those are events?
All right. So let me just quickly refer to
what would you guess?
Oh, events.
So you're saying
more than half?
More than half.
Yeah,
Amazing.
but look, let me tell you about this.
Yes,
so
please.
In the last 12 months, we've done 92 bookings, and they are on average 3 nights.
So you've executed 92 bookings?
92 bookings.
So you haven't booked in, sorry, because our terminology is different with my end.
But yes. Of course, yeah. I guess over the last financial year.
So when we make a booking, it refers to something that's been booked, but it could be in a year's time. But for a hotel, a booking is a booking that's being executed.
Okay.
But does that so a booking for you doesn't mean a booking in 2027, it means...
No.
It means something that
because
happens.
At the end of the day, it's like the type of a...
Good.
Yeah.
Just want to get my terminology clear so I don't get myself tangled up.
So in the last 365 days, 92 bookings.
Executed 92 bookings. Excellent.
And they're on an average 3-night stay. So that means that we essentially have maybe 1 or 2 days a month available because, 92 times 3. 51 were interstate and international bookings.
I love all this.
9 of them were harvest hall weddings, 11 elopements in our house, and 892 wedding guests.
Wow. That's crazy numbers.
And on that, because a lot of people ask this, so it might be interesting to talk about, which is like our lead time. So because we're accommodation, we open up bookings to all groups 12 months in advance. Mm-hmm. So if you were to go on Airbnb right now, you would see that we're available 12 months in advance. Mm-hmm. But for direct correspondence bookings, especially around particular celebrations, we basically allow 18 to 20 months in advance. So right now, we are already booked out for pretty much January to March, I think, 2027.
Yep.
So, if you are considering us as a potential venue, feel free to reach out via email.
Yeah.
Even if you can't see the dates available online, we're very deliberate. We don't want your perfect dates to be taken by someone who's just travelling.
Sure.
We would prefer to fill up our weeks around, our event bookings.
Absolutely.
And, yes, we do get a lot of interstate, but we also have a lot of people coming from, far north Tas, as well as around Hobart, just knowing that it's a locality where their family that might be travelling can come and stay.
So let's talk about venues on when someone is having the event. You've obviously redesigned this amazing harvest hall space.
Yeah.
So what is an event let's not talk about the day before or the day after, but what does the day of an event look like? What are people able to do?
Yeah.
What is Harvest Hall offering? What are they offering their guests? Let's use a ballpark of let's say that there's 80 people as like the general, 60 to 80, because then we can touch on the opens and stuff after that. But just those 60 to 80 people, what is that morning day? Who are they emailing?
Yeah.
Who am I emailing?
Mostly Lucy. She's more efficient than me.
Yeah. So what are they bringing? Because it's a venue in which you are bringing everything in.
Yeah, pretty
DIY.
much. Well, look, we've started to really build, like I said, our event assets. And that's just something that we've just continually grown over time so I guess fundamentally we just want to make things as easy as possible for people. We know that, inflation and the cost of living is hard for people. And we know that we provide something, again, that's quite unique in terms of, come and book your stay with us. You can have your loved ones stay on site with you over this period of time. And if you want to add on our Harvest Hall space, you can absolutely do that. And it's very much a DIY venue. Yep. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't bring in every vendor that you choose, so therefore you're not doing anything DIY, but it means that you have the flexibility to really do as much or as little as you want.
Yep.
We've built out a preferred vendors club that we're really proud of. And, we are very happy to work with all vendors. There's so many amazing people in Tasmania that, deliver exceptional services. But because we live remotely, it's really important for us that, safety is key and that, that our property is looked after. And so over the last, 5 to 6 years, we've been able to develop this kind of compendium where people can, if they wish to, choose from vendors off there, and they would know that, logistics-wise, planning-wise, the people on there know our property, know where to park, know where the power points are, know what to do, and that they're in safe hands.
Yes, because it's one of those things we were talking about a little bit before in the sense of everyone is allowed to have a whole bunch of choice, but it's a very stressful day that those people only do one time, and that you're doing 51 times, in a year or whatever.
I know.
And so it's like, we sit there with our package designs in the same, and obviously I have to think of it from, it's the only reference I have is my own world, but like it's designed after 10 years of trial and error to make it as brainless and stress free for you as possible. And so when someone rocks up there for something in Flagstaff and they're like, I want to, I guess you're just going, here's how it works so you don't really have to stress out. But choose from these. But choose whatever you want. But just choose from these. But just this would, because it's that thing, because everyone does want a choice and be in charge and be in the master of their own domain. And people have
different budgets, right?
100%,
and
so,
the one good thing about Flagstaff is that we can cater for a lot of budgets because, if you want to bring in and get someone to style the entire, the entire space, someone like Laura from Swoon, or would love to work with G as well. She's amazing at what she does, and, they create beautiful spaces. But if you also want to get a bucket of flowers and put the vases together yourself, and you want to get a food truck, or Nana's going to cook the cake for you, no problem, that's fine.
So cool.
And we just feel like it's a great base for really any type of celebration. And in 2026 we're actually doing some pretty significant landscaping of our back area to have a more utility in our outdoor event space that surrounds Harvest Hall. So Harvest Hall, like I said, it's a pair packing shed. We didn't change the footprint of that.
For sure.
So it's still kind of, comfortably fits around 60 people, but it's also a great space for, up to 100 for a cocktail style.
Do you have a capacity?
Well, so 60 for seated. If you want to do a seated dinner, like with our good friends, Season of Fire or Sabre, that.
Shout out to Jimmy.
Love you, Jimmy. Go and see Jimmy for dinner tonight.
Go and see Jimmy. Do it.
But it is perfect for about 60. It gets a bit tight beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to have a dance floor or something, you need to factor that in. And then up to 100 for the whole space. People ask, are kids included, etc. Essentially, where our priority is, the wear and tear on our property and maintaining that. So we are pretty hard and fast on the 100, but I can be persuaded now.
And so, because you're speaking of someone who lives there and has been there, blah, blah, blah. So it's got this beautiful big hall.
Yeah.
And then the massive, probably double the size, triple the size outdoor area with fire pits, maybe double the size. Outdoor area with the bar out there, which also has an undercover space and everything like that as well.
Yes.
So it's so many, it's not like you're either in or you're out. It's kind of you flow. You know what I mean? Like it's got this.
When we purchased it used to have old cars parked in there. And my late father-in-law, he knocked out the walls and built an old, again, very rustic bar. And it was only in the last kind of 18 months that we renovated that bar, and I'm like obsessed with
so much
olive
work.
trees, and I'm really obsessed with like kind of that Mediterranean feel. So yeah, like I designed that whole harvest hall area myself, and like it was a massive job, but we also did it in about 10 weeks.
It's incredible. The amount of work.
And so ever since we've done that, we've obviously been able to elevate, I guess, the experience for people. It's soundproofed, it's heated, it's, got aircon as well. It's got the internal bar, which we've, just put a sink in, and we've got, fridges and stuff available for people. And then we've got the event asset collection out the back. So, if you want, we've got like 60 chairs, we've got tables, we've got plinths, we've got flower stands, we've got rugs, we've got neons, we've got all these things that we're just continually building over time. So again, if you're like, you know what, I just want to have my nearest and dearest, I've got 50 people, don't really want to spend too much money, but I really want to spend it on like great food, great music, great booze, and that's what my priority is. Yeah. Well, you can prioritize that because, we've got all of those other added things. At the end of the day, yes, a beautiful styled space is stunning, but no one remembers what chair they sat on.
That's very true.
And so at the end of the day, we have got stuff there if people want to use it, and if they don't, no problem at all.
And so when people are getting married there, are they now using the doors of Harvest Hall kind of thing, use that space? Are they doing it in front of that on the thing? What are they doing? Where's the ceremony
It took me 6 months to get those doors down to Tasmania, the big glass ones, arch ones. Yeah, we're putting in a ceremony spot up the back because it's going to be quite similar, a big like steel black arch frame. So, watch this space, guys. Might have to come back for episode 2.
Oh, you definitely have to come back for episode 2 because
But we're like those doors are a stunning centerpiece, and we always knew that, given Hobart's weather, we've got a few different options for people to do indoor or outdoor wedding ceremonies, and you can kind of, the space is yours. Do with it what you like.
And tell me about the elopement part, because obviously I don't care because no one ever books a musician for an elopement. But I'm joking. It is weird. I've done a picnic. I've done a couple, and they're weird anyway, so don't worry about it.
I wouldn't mind you serenading.
I know, but there's a point there where you just want to talk, and I'm just standing there, and there's like 3 of us, and we're like, should I go? Should I leave? I had a couple I did a picnic for. It was great. But
you know
after
what?
10 minutes.
What even is the definition of an elopement?
Well, then tell me. You tell me.
Well, so we've got 2 packages for elopements. We've got, I think we call it a mini elopement, and then maybe an intimate elopement. Sorry, Lucy, need to double check that. But one's for like under 15 and one's for under 30.
So we're talking elopements are under 30 people now?
Well, I don't know. That's what we've done because for us, like our house is definitely big enough, and our spaces external to the Harvest Hall are big enough to host, I guess, 30 people on site, given like we can accommodate for 19, so an extra 10 for a day event, really no big deal. Got lots of paddocks, and if people want to set up an arbour somewhere,
I had
like
30
they can.
for Christmas, mate.
Yeah, and you wouldn't do it again. That's what we do, and that doesn't include vendors on site, but I think because people, the lay of the landscape of weddings and elopements is changing. Sometimes it's people's second wedding. Sometimes they've got, mixed blended family where there's lots of kids, etc. And so, we have found that number is good, and it means that we can, they don't need to use Harvest Hall for that space either. So it's even more of a, I guess, cost-effective way to have a wedding. And then kind of people still choose Harvest Hall even for small numbers because it's such a beautiful space. But, we kind of have the house available for house-only elopements and the deck space. Lots of people have used our deck for an elopement.
And you get a chef in too, right? Like they come in, like Jimmy will come in or something like that. Oh, my gosh,
yeah. A lot of people, So we've got an in-house chef experience. You can do that even if you're not having a celebration, just doing a girls' weekend. You want to book Jimmy?
Do it.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. And their food is so incredible. Yeah. So, like all that live fire cooking can happen just there on the property. And again, they're self-sufficient, so you don't have to worry about washing up and any of that. It's really great.
Yeah. Oh, that's unreal. And it's just got scope for just to go anywhere, you know what I mean? It's just such a, you've just done so much with it, and it's great to have, Tassie was dying for another venue near town with that much potential, I know there's Villa Howden down the other side,
beautiful place.
And there's essentially like the Peppermint Bay, the Villa Howden, and on the east you now have you had nothing, and then you had Frogmore.
Glen Albans,
Glen Albans down there, of course. That's an institution that will always do its thing, but it's just so cool to have a kind of.
I think the accommodation is the key part because
it's so good.
being able to have people just walk inside at 11 p.m. or midnight, whatever, and stay there as opposed to having to get a bus and having to travel elsewhere.
Do you have an event cut off in the sense of like just for neighbours and rules and council and stuff?
Yeah, so we've got like one close neighbour where we've got great relationships with all of our neighbours, and we really care about them. Like, we're not there to...
they can literally ruin you. They can.
Absolutely. We align with all the council regulations, which is essentially 11 p.m. Like music off, but we still have people meander up there and talk and stuff. Yeah. And like I said, we've really invested in that soundproofing. So as long as the doors are closed and the music's contained, the only reason I guess more vendor venues start to get hesitant beyond that is that obviously once people are, really boozed up, they start to do silly things as well.
I can tell you we have surcharges after 11, like for the safety of our artists. Like I can't have a 23-year-old DJ in a park in a private property with people that have been drinking since 3 o'clock and it hits 1 a.m. It's just chaos. Yeah. It's just madness. It is. Everyone knows
and
it
that's
is.
why we also love people that do choose to have a coordinator or a stylist, etc., because at the end of the day, they are also like a security asset to us. And, we have been really fortunate to bring Lucy on board as a locally based. She just lives 5 minutes from Flagstaff. So, if something's really going down, we've got people available. 100%. We've got our caretaker available.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know what? Like, it's not even the weddings that are necessarily the most stressful on our property. It's the ones that book via, and I'll revert a bit, but with our social media presence and with how we've tried to navigate this as a venture, we have really lent into people knowing who we are and that we love our home and please respect our home. Mm-hmm. And so when you book, you're talking to us. We're very, very committed to responding very quickly, normally within 24 hours, sometimes 48, which I've heard a lot of people struggle to hear back from a lot of venues. So, I think having that...
If you're a vendor watching this, respond. Just get on it. Take 5,
and
respond.
Can I mention also, and respond back. Like if you choose not to go with a venue, that's totally fine. But at least respond back because then obviously it helps us to know what, we're not going to keep hassling you and finding out if you're interested, etc. We're committed to responding in a timely manner. Just let us know. If it's not for you, no problem, But it really helps us with the flow of our communications.
We have this cool little automation thing on our second follow-up automated email, which is like the first one's like, just follow, blah, blah, blah. And our second one just says... it says the same thing, but at the bottom of it's like, we get that it's lame to respond, and we're going to take this as like we're going to take you off the list now, so no need to respond. But the fact that you have, and so many people read that and then go, oh shit, no, we actually are keen. I didn't realise, because they think they're going to get eliminated and they just haven't gotten to it.
Do you know what?
But the advice is just respond.
Yeah, because do you know what? It is not abnormal for us to get an inquiry on specific dates, quote those people, and have those dates booked an hour later.
Oh, 100%. Happens
by
to us
different people
all the time. Yeah,
but
100%.
I mean by different people.
No, 100% happens to us constantly.
Yeah,
people go
and then people
there,
get disappointed. We're like, well,
they go like, why didn't you put it on hold? It's like we can't hold for everybody. And people sit there chin wagging, going, oh, we want to see. Can you send us some more? Can you send us our videos are top quality? It's the best they've got. It's the best they've sent us. We're super in demand. We did 300 and something weddings this year, mate. If you want to march Saturday and you're umming and ahhing, it's like just. There is no, you're not going to find someone better, so just click it. It's great. It's great. It's going to be great. We got you. It's great.
Absolutely. Trust
it sounds egotistical, but it's just like, we know.
And when you love what you do and you love what you're producing, like at the end of the day, we will bend over backwards
100%.
to make sure that your stay is comfortable, that you've got all the amenities you need.
Yep.
We're very communicative, so if you need us through the stay, we're always available to come and help out. And like I said, unfortunately, platforms are really against all, especially like Airbnb, against the venue, because a 5-star review is commonplace, and anything under that. So even if you give a 4-star review, it's like getting 5-star reviews. You could get 15 5-star, and then if you get 1 4-star, And, to me, a 4-star is not bad, but on Airbnb, a 4-star is like not satisfactory.
Interesting.
And so like one bad review can really put your listing down in terms of algorithm. Fortunately, we like to be so communicative with our guests that, we can normally eliminate any issues.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, it's a huge house. Things go wrong all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
And
that's just life.
It is.
You can't do it.
And we've done our best to try and navigate all of those and ensure that they don't happen.
Yeah.
But they do.
Yeah.
And we're always really, I think being kind and considerate and transparent right from the get-go.
You can tell that you're playing the long game,
Yeah.
and it's in the benefit of the best interest of the clients that are, customers or whatever you call them, that are booking there. Is the sense that, you're going to lose money, you're going to do things, you're going to sacrifice to make sure that it's better because you're there for a long time.
I think that's where maybe some other venues, and hopefully it's a segue to our next
It is a segue.
venture.
It needs to be a segue. I was about to get you there anyway.
Because, I think that's where if you don't keep up, you do unfortunately fall behind. And we have, like I think I've said it now already 10 times, but we're so invested in our product that we know, and we're really focused on spending our hard-earned money. We work full-time to be able to deliver the very best in the experience to people. And we are continually evolving. And I think, after we renovated Harvest Hall and we realised, okay, well, now that we've done that, obviously, we need to return on our investment. But we're getting that in two folds in terms of just people starting to see our brand and really understand and recognise us. And to think that 5 years ago, no one knew who any of us were, but also no, we were just a house, on the street. And to be a bit more of a name that is known 100%. Within the industry is a really pinch me moment. Yeah. And I guess in the last 12 months we've started to go, well, probably our next step is to scale. And so we have been for the last, probably 6 months definitely, but I've probably been keeping an eye for about 12 months on the next kind of property venture.
Yeah.
We put contracts put down offers on about 3 properties.
Really?
Yeah, yep.
We can talk about what they are after.
Yeah, yep. But I guess, more recently popped up around Stonefield, and at first I was like, absolutely not, because it is a humongous venture. Yeah. And when I say venture, I'm like, okay, this is you say long game, this is 25-year game.
Yeah.
You've been there.
And I've been there a lot.
I had not been there. We had never been there.
Yes.
And, I guess in a location that I'm less familiar with, we were very much looking for more a waterfront type property, very much looking for something that had space for lots of people without neighbours, etc. was always our kind of goal. But when it came up, I guess the biggest thing with Stonefield was, yes, it was it is an established wedding venue, but you can't. I can't emphasize enough how beautiful the gardens are there.
I know the gardens are incredible. We can't get that kind of established.
Oh, my goodness.
You can't get that established garden.
I can't get that at Flagstaff until the 100 years time.
Years and years.
Yeah, and it's
so she's bought Flagstaff. She's bought Stonefield Estate.
Ma'am,
sorry, they've bought
he's not
here. Sorry, they've bought Stonefield Estate in the stunning, this old school. Yeah, I mean, it's
1824 heritage.
It's an institution, and
so when was Australia first?
Well,
founded?
it came in 1770 something, and Sydney was 1776.
So it was literally one of the first properties in Hobart.
It's extraordinary,
amazing,
and it was a big farmland, and it's a beautiful. It's
on the Jordan River. Yeah,
it just needs so much zhuzh, and you're the right person to zhuzh, I think. I love saying zhuzh.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
incredible.
Look, again, it's.
So you own it now? Are you on now?
So we're settling in March,
yeah.
And the reason for that is that there's weddings there.
Yes, I was going to say, because I think I'm on a few.
Yeah. So we, again, this is the long game, and we weren't there. We didn't want to last minute go, oh, your wedding's cancelled. But it also was obviously the service and the I guess the packages that are being delivered now by the team out there. They're delivering their packages in their way, and we're going to deliver packages there in a different way. And so we didn't want to have settlement during people's weddings and then potentially be like, well, is that under us or is that under them? So it was just much easier to just go, well, look, you guys finish off the season there. That's, kind of gives us 6 weeks to get our ducks in a line. And, at this point we hadn't seen the property anyway.
Incredible.
Can you believe it?
Incredible.
I know. I still am like, was that the best or the worst decision?
I mean, what did you think when you got there?
I cried.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was – well, look, it was definitely happy tears. It was definitely happy tears, but it was overwhelmed.
I've never been inside the main house. I've never been inside the main house.
And that's the thing, right? So Stonefield is currently, the family have lived there for over 50 years. Yeah. And so actually there's only 2 components of the property that are actually heritage listed.
The cottage and the main?
No.
Not the cottage?
No, not the cottage. The family built that. You mean like
stone,
the ceremony.
Where the kitchen is?
No, that was built in 1970s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about the room over the pool? Do you know that's over a pool?
I do.
That's the dance
floor.
My DJ dance floor is there.
Reinstated.
The pool?
Yeah.
Excellent, cool. And are you going to put something overlooking the river? Because utilising the river.
I
can't even imagine.
So
what else is heritage?
Yep. So the main house, as you know, that beautiful facade, and then there's like this side part that it used to be the convict quarters and the outbuilding of the kitchen. So remember, there was no electricity then.
Yeah, I know.
So it was like when you come inside, and that's the thing, because Stonefield is essentially they've been living there and then obviously have the wedding venue on site. Yeah. We're going to have, hopefully, if we can get everything through council, we'll have the accommodation available. And so it will be very much, I guess, using the philosophy of what we've learned from Flagstaff and how we deliver our kind of staycation type mentality, whereby, again, you don't want someone else staying in the house while you've got your wedding. You want to be able to book the whole place out. And so we kind of envisage that we'll be able to host similar group numbers, maybe 12 to 16-ish, depending on how we can go with the heritage side of things. We're planning to reinstate the pool. And, it is on the Jordan River, so there's a lot of opportunity for, saunas and spas, etc., that are waterfront.
Yes.
There's also, if you've been there, you definitely know what I'm talking about. That it's just a bit tired, and I'm really, really excited to reinvigorate.
Well, it wasn't his first thing. They both had jobs and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
But it's also like when you, I think, live and own and sit on it, you don't feel the need to. It wasn't even his money spinner. It was just something he did like 8 of a year, maybe 10, just to kind of just kind of boost some juice. But it's so you could be doing 100 a year.
Yeah, I think like that's our plan, is to kind of try and again scale, and bring in our knowledge that we already have for running, kind of accommodate large group stays plus celebrations on site, but also like I just can't wait to kind of bring that. It's had a lot of family love and passion and commitment to that property for a very long time. And I think it's now really well placed for us to kind of bring in our own passion and really, I guess, renovate it into the 21st century that, right now we know what our couples need, wants and desires are with stays. And I'm so, so excited to kind of transform it. It's going to be, 5 to 10 years probably of
the gardens are so good. The gardens are so good. So when do you think you'll be running? We'll be running end of next season. Yeah,
so we're definitely going to be running. We settle in March. And then from March, we will spend about 3 to 6 months doing more cosmetic renovations, I guess. And we've got to still finalise our architect to do a master plan for the whole property. And then once we do that and we kind of understand, okay, well, that's going to change and that's not going to change. So let's now start to really invest in the stuff that's not going to change to, get to that end state quicker. And then I guess we've already started to get inquiries come through, especially from people that were already planning their wedding in that space. But obviously right now we don't really know what the space is going to look like. So we don't want to go, okay, we're going to definitely offer this when we actually don't know yet.
That's smart.
So
don't make Lucy's inbox fill up with bollocks that she can't deliver on.
Multiple times.
She's just stuck in, by the way. She's over here. You're in the mirror now. You're in the mirror. Stand there. No, stand over. Sit on the other chair.
Do you know what? She's is picking me up because we're actually going to do a couple of interviews because we obviously need we need more people.
Amazing.
We need a team behind us. Yeah. And so, I guess with Stonefield will definitely be available for weddings like end of 2026. So like, wedding season.
Yeah, awesome.
But at what point or what stage of the development we're at, I guess is still a bit unknown. So, we'll have to definitely ask future guests and brides and couples to trust us.
There'll be a few disclaimers. There'll be a few little asterisks at the end of your sentences. Just be aware that wall may not be there. It should be there, but we're not 100% sure.
Look, I can guarantee some stuff won't be there that's there at the moment. The Bay Marie will not be there.
No, don't say it. Oh, God. Dave, we love it, mate.
No.
Oh,
look, how they're running it, like people are booking weddings there at the moment. So like, awesome. Obviously people love what they've been doing.
I want them. I could check my calendar, but I don't.
But at the end of the day, like, especially because, the food part is not really our passion area. And it's definitely, I live too far away to coordinate that level as well.
Let's get Jimmy in there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll just do the same. You want food trucks? No worries.
Yep.
You want a caterer? No worries. They can use our commercial kitchen there. I have said to Matt, we probably need to invest in a bit of a vineyard. So maybe some,
now you're speaking daddy's language.
Yeah, because you know what? There's these amazing paddocks on the side and, you've got access to the Jordan River water.
It's got my name in it.
It's
got my name in it.
I know. Well, I probably have, we can put a tiny home on the side, Jordan, and get you working there.
I think it's absolutely wonderful and excellent news. As I say, we were talking before we started this, when Damo mentioned to me that it was going for sale, one of Laura and my, because I'm getting old, one of our life things is like, I can't be DJing in the corner when I'm 60. So we've always had this like, a venue. And every time I go there, I go, I just look at the gardens, I go, the gardens. Because you can't get established gardens like that. You can't get moss on old stones. Like, it's
God, the ivy.
Come on.
So
right? You can't get
stunning.
ivy on that. Right? So we're thinking about, and then obviously I have no skills and I'm very busy and I run a company and I have a podcast and also just like kids and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, but I'm so glad that someone with your kind of vision and expertise, even though it is kind of, flying by the seat of your pants like we all are, has taken on board because it is full of potential. It is a giant sack full of potential, a big potato sack, and it's going to be amazing. And hopefully we can get you back to talk about all that kind of stuff as it happens along the journey.
I'd love that
because it's going to be like another go-to Tasmanian place to be. There's no hope about as in it can't not unless you absolutely fuck it up so hard. That potentially.
Look, you're saying that now,
but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just no way because you've done such a great job with Flagstaff, and again, people, I think all over wherever you go to capital and you're fly-ins, and even if you're not fly-ins, you want somewhere central that doesn't feel central. It's just,
and most of people are like travelling to Lonnie to get that type of era accommodation as well, because that's where all of those historic.
I do. I do. Exo Sounds goes to Lonnie. I've got to go to Lonnie and do a couple of days with the guys up there.
But you know what? There's some stunning properties up that way. Absolutely.
Yes, there are. Evandale and surrounds and things.
Beautiful historic buildings, but there's not that many in Hobart. And, Brighton is, 25, 30 minutes from the CBD.
Not even,
and, because people haven't had accommodation on site there previously, I'm sure that's probably been a turn-off for some people because it's still, got to get a bus to bring people back. So the ability for us to have accommodation on site, I think, will be game changer. And, fingers crossed we'll be able to potentially expand that as well. That, like I said, there's lots of land there, whether we can, put on some more cabins or tiny homes or something like that in the future. Glamping, that'd be fun. It is Hobart though. Like, I don't know. Can you heat those things?
Is glamping fun? Tune in next time, please, for my thoughts on glamping. Well, again, thank you so much. So again, Flagstaff, you've done an incredible job there. Harvest Hall accommodation. I hope we've covered lots. We covered a lot of that, but
I had notes and I didn't use them.
I've not asked you one question. No. It says origin and vision, and then I haven't even scrolled down. But yeah, amazing stuff in the future, and obviously amazing. And yeah, there's so many weddings and events happening, and you're booked out, but you want to be more booked because that's what we all want to be. And but thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks so much.
And I hope you've had a good time.
Oh my God, so fun.
we
need to go for some more wines after this.
We'll get you back to talk about all things Stonefield, and even as it progresses and stuff like that. It's it's an exciting development.
It is. It's
in the future.
Bloody scary, but if it doesn't scare you,
So you're going to stay in WA and just do it all from there, kind of similar?
Look, well, we can't afford to come back now. No, well, no, true story. Look, this is the problem. We love our jobs over there, and like. Imagine being able to live in the far north red dirt desert, contributing to incredible things in your daily life, and then having this totally disparate, totally different, hustle business company now that like totally uses other parts of your brain and makes you grow in a different way and like, brings us together and pulls us apart as in our relationship, but also like, that, it means that we come back to Hobart so much more. We come back maybe 5 to 6 times a year. Yeah. So we see our family an awful lot more. They're invested in the property as well. And, I think that we will come back, whether it's in the next few years. I don't think so, unless, we have some long service, et cetera, and, considering family and stuff like that. But in general, we are loving what we're doing over there, and while it's suiting us, why not? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's such an awesome story, and I'm so excited to see where it all goes. Thank you so much for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, give her a round of applause. Oh, wait, it's just us.